Hello and welcome. And now let's read through some extracts from the 19th verse, Comparative Culture, from the book Footprints on Water Street. Now, this comparative culture is an apparent cultural war. It's an apparent cultural wars that seem to appear between a banana and a grape, and then there's an orange. So it's like a TV show where they sit and discuss which culture is better. And then there is a fig, which has an apparently non-dual view. So let's read through some extracts. So there's a TV show that's going on, and this is what the banana has to say. Our culture is noble and sane, for content we all remain, in the confines of our skin, with morals that destroy sin. In the clan's progress we all believe, an ethical position perceive. Eternal peace guarantee, if you with our view agree, declared the banana, addressing the grape, who having heard this was agape. And then, of course, he somehow glorifies its culture, his culture, and looks down upon the grape by saying, "We do not act righteous or sly like you or others terrify, and we aren't supercilious, capricious, or pretentious." And then, of course, he goes on to demean her for quite a while. Then, continuing in his style, he demeaned her with a smile. Your aim is to intoxicate, steal the senses, complicate, sway with a high, create a mess, and in the chaos become restless. Then, restive within, you start with unrest, with acquired riches stay depressed, and being ignorant of diverse tones, establish narrow poles and touchstones, demean other souls from their zone, have value only for thy own. Moreover, you flagrantly dress are an anathema to the moral press, a dilemma for the world's progress, even the earth's condition and its success. Now, of course, she retorts back, what arrant nonsense. First, initially, she defends herself and then she looks down upon the banana. Stop your silly tirade, your abhorrent didactic crusade. Snap the grape who could take no more. Your being I abhor. The whole wide world accepts my value, for I'm intelligent, cultured, and true. And then she looks down upon him by saying, you're nothing but a poor man's food, rot quickly, are downright rude, are truculent, dogmatic, and crass, unintelligent, and lacking class. Then, of course, it goes on, and then she says, besides, you don't respect free will, impose ideas that are ill, thus advocate autocracy, create gender supremacy, while I value democracy, promote equal policy. Now, the orange is listening. Now, he wants to intervene, but he's not very confident. And secondly, he wants to talk about equality and detachment. But then there's Fig, who has, I won't say a different view. The Fig doesn't have a diverse view, but the Fig speaks of this oneness in this poem. And he says, who does all the forms devise? Yeah. And what keeps the eye alive night and day, performs the body's natural tasks, is behind the diverse masks, and isn't one life force uniform that appears as all the forms? Can any one of you even breathe, or on your own, or keep alive your bodies, or survive even for an instant, if life doesn't thrive as form present? And he says, oh, silly fruits reflects, are we really diverse? Is this appearance split and static when life's the source and the fabric? And of course, there's a lot of, and then he says, you've forgotten fruits inane, that emptiness is the source and grain of life, so same is the juice, energetic forms. One produce, energy without any boundaries, is life appearing as the binary. And of course, it's innate conditioning. But there's something I'd like to read out here. He says, rationally to this cultural nonsense is a confluence of diverse influence, and like an ever-flowing river, constantly changes its whisper. Hence, it is illusory to deem a culture as static with an infrastructure. Moreover, to praise or deride an added trick of pious pride. For all opinions are a game, simply to dominance claim. For they're an apparent cage in which is hidden driven rage. So this democracy too is a construed policy that pursues serfdom in the guise of freedom. And he says, recognize no outlook can ever bring an end to this suffering. No culture, scripture, or reference compares to this alive presence. Even the most amazing views or divine celestial hues are pale in comparison to the appearing manifestation. Hence, any song, however pristine, falls at the altar of the present scene. There's one thing which I can say: who can teach whom how to live, in certain ways dress, pray, or give, when life exists on its own, without another to make it known? Arrogance to the extreme is to uplift a daydream. And if anyone claims to know this unknowable show, just scuttle away from their side, for their charlatans in pious hide, inflicting their opinion on apparent millions. Yet, yet appearance of this roles is one in its own play whole. So whatsoever appears, a dance, oneless alone, without a stance. And then, of course, in the part two, he speaks as to how the seeming eye is simply an illusion and it cannot get this freedom. So if you want to read the whole poem, you can buy the book Footprints of Water Street. Thank you so much.